Hello, hello, good people out there. Welcome to Do Life Session. What a joy to have you today. You know, I would like us to have very close, not just bond, but a close chat today. Often we come prepared, but there are times when we have to come very open and just trust where this leads. Particularly, trust God to lead us in a very positive way. So we're going to have a great session today. I'm excited about this session. I'm pleased also to have with me today my spiritual son, Pastor Kirkpatrick from Greensboro, North Carolina. Greensboro, North Carolina. Pastor Kirkpatrick has been with us not just once, but a few times. And anytime he comes, we have just a great time of sharing. So today he's with us. But I'd like you to take some time now and invite your friends. It's not too late. Tell them to jump in right now. Share us. Tell your friends to follow. And also tell them to subscribe. It's very, very important. We are about to start this great session. So welcome, Pastor Kirkpatrick from Greensboro, North Carolina. I know it's about, an hour from here?
Yes, sir.
And it's always good to have you. I want us to have a Do Life session. And we really want this to be a very practical, open conversation. And let's share. Forget people are here. Just you and I. And let's just talk. Because I really want this message today to meet the needs of God's people. So, welcome. And let's keep rolling.
Well, listen, it's an honor, His Majesty, to be here. I'm so grateful for the opportunity and the privilege to do life with you and the great people here in the great state of North Carolina. I wanted to begin our conversation today because I think it's important that people understand the power of relationships. When we think about relationships, and my question today for you is going to dive into the relationship between spiritual father and son. I've had the privilege to follow your ministry and your life for many years now. 20 plus years. I followed you from a distance. I can remember as a teenager, the first book that I encountered was Prayer, Fasting, and the Supernatural. And that book has made an impact on my life that to this day cannot be calculated. I recall reading that book as a teenager, a new Christian, just giving my life to the Lord, hungry for God and wanting to know more about Him. And I remember you came and you spoke at a church in Greensboro, and I had the opportunity to come, and I sat way back in the balcony. Church was jam-packed. And I recall you speaking, and I noticed the power of God in your words, that you didn't speak like other preachers that I've heard. Your words were full of power and authority. And I knew from your book that the source of that power was God. And I said, man, I want that same power in my life. And so I read your book, and it changed my life. And so I'm honored to have this privilege to be here with you, and the time, the proximity, the access that you've granted me to have over the years. And I can truly say that my life has been changed. But there's so many young people perhaps watching us today who've not had the privilege of having someone, a mentor, a father, someone that they can share with and talk to and glean from. And so my first question to you is, how important is it in your estimation for young people, men and women, whether they be in ministry or in the corporate field, how important is it for them to have mentors and people that they glean from and people that they learn from?
It is very important. But by the way, I want to just say that, when you said you've been following me since you were a teenager, I sit back and I say, man, it's a long time. But I'm grateful that I'm not getting older. I'm getting renewed daily. The importance of having a close relationship, either with a mentor, a father, a coach, or a trainer, is critical. You cannot do it on your own. No matter how gifted you are, no matter how powerful you are, you cannot do it on your own. You need others around you to help you achieve or help you succeed. You can attain, but to succeed and achieve, it takes somebody to help you through the process. There are so many people who are very gifted, but they get destroyed by their own gifts because their gifts can make them very proud and arrogant. Their gift will make them feel untouchable, or their gift will make them feel they are in a different class of their own and that they don't need anyone. And that is when people begin to literally detect their failures. Fathers are very important. I mean, nothing that is birthed into this life, especially when we talk about species, that doesn't come from a father and a mother. Father produces the seed, a mother incubates the seeds. And once birth takes place, it takes both father and mother to nourish a child. But the father provides two things that are critical. It's validation and affirmation. We all need validation and we all need affirmation. And that's what a father can do. You make sure that your children are affirmed and validated. So if you are in any space that is impactful and necessary, you need to have somebody who has been there, somebody who has done what you are about to do, and somebody who understands the process, or someone who has wisdom that can guide you to make the right choices so that your success doesn't end up hurting you. There are those who have succeeded, and when they get to a place, they get empty and they self-destruct. Why? Because they didn't allow people to speak into their lives. They didn't allow fathers to nurture them. And they didn't allow fathers to bless them and release them. You know, one reason why I believe I've stayed longer in ministry was because my father was the one who released me into ministry. That is a great privilege. I'm humbled to say that. There are so many people who are in ministry. They got in because of experiences they've had, challenges they've had growing up, mothers they've seen struggle. And they just got to know the Lord through mothers, which is very important. But there was no father there to nurture them. There are some things that mothers can do, and there are some things that fathers can do. A father cannot do the things that mothers can do, and mothers cannot do the things fathers can do. They may supplement in certain areas, but will not be able to take the place of these roles that God has set in our lives. So we need spiritual fathers. We need spiritual mentors who can speak into our lives, affirm and validate, and literally help us, shape us, structure us, and assist us to be effective in all that we do. Now, we need mentors, and a mentor is one that you go to. One that you go to who would help you to align to the assignment that God has given you. A mentor is one who would literally watch you do what you are called to do, speak into it, and give you inputs that will make you provide for yourself the knowledge and wisdom that will make you do what you're supposed to do. But the father is one who nurtures you, who molds you, who corrects you, who exalts you, and who should rebuke you when you are wrong, and who will put his foot down and let you know you are doing a good job, I applaud you, or this is not what you're supposed to be doing. Stop it and go this direction. But if you don't have these in your life, definitely it will affect you down the road. Now, you and I've been a father to you for some years now. You come to spend time with me, I mean, you spend a lot of hours with me. I mean, you just come and you ask questions. You come and also you observe. And I always say to you, watch what I do. Not what I say only, but what I do. And learn. So what it does is it gives you opportunity to study close. It gives you opportunity to absorb directly. And also it gives you opportunity to feel safe and know how to conduct yourself, know how to manage yourself, and also helps you to become a better leader to the people that God has assigned you to follow. When nobody is following you, it's a good sign that you are following somebody. But if people are following you and you are not following anyone, then you're going to lead them astray. So we all have to create opportunities where accountability registers. So having a father, whether it's spiritual, business, social, community, I mean, in family setting, you may not have a biological father, but when you have somebody there as a father, that person can affirm you and help you to do the things that God has called you to do. I made a statement about my father. My father was the one that prepared my mother to accept the call of God on my life, which in many instances is the opposite. There are so many absentee fathers. There are so many fathers who even don't have a relationship with God. They don't go to church. It's the wife that takes the children to church. I mean, but when you have a father that is the head of the house, and also the leader of the house, it makes a whole lot of difference. And we need fathers in our lives. Spiritually, we need fathers in our lives. There are so many young ministers today who are relying on their gifts, and they have no character, because character development comes through molding, and we need the fathers beside us to help us achieve those. So if you have gift and you rely on your gift, your eloquence, your charisma, your ability to draw followers, it can be dangerous. It's better people are not following you and you have a father than have people follow you and you have none.
That's good. That's really good. Wow. You said so much. You talked about two words that just jumped out at me. One, you talked about accountability. And I think that when we look at this generation, there is a lack of accountability because people have more confidence in their charisma than in their character. And you talked about a father is one who trains and develops and cultivates the gifts in sons and daughters. I want to shift gears just for a moment, and I want to ask the question because I believe there may be people watching today who may be thinking to themselves, what do you look for when you are in search of a father? So many young people today, ministry in particular, that I encounter, who need direction, who need molding, who need training, but I think sometimes they struggle with what are some of the characteristics, what are some of the things that they should look for when considering someone to be a father to them?
That's a good question, too, that you've asked. Now, normally, I mean, our understanding of fathering and seeking and looking for a father is shaped by our environment and also shaped by our cultures. In a culture or society where there are no fathers, it's usually difficult for one to go say, hey, can you be my father? Can you be my father? But in a society that respects fathers and appreciate fathers and know the value of fathers is the fathers that would determine that, hey, this person can be my son, or this person needs to be helped, this person needs to be guided, this person needs to be empowered, and this person needs to be assisted to achieve what needs to be achieved. So the question you ask is, what is the criteria that one will use to determine who a father is? Now, honestly, there are so many young people who want to do great things or are destined for great things or greatness, but they always look for popularity. They always look for fame. They always want a shortcut to get to the top. It is dangerous to look for a father who is out there and you expect him to pick you up and put you out there. No, it is the wrong criteria. The criteria is I'm looking for a man that I will submit to, not a man I will use to get there, but a man I will submit to. I'm looking for somebody who will not be afraid or will not allow my charisma to drive me into danger or drive me off the rail. I'm looking for somebody who will speak into my life, somebody who will tell me no and teach me obedience to God, submission to authority, and proper way of doing things. I'm looking for somebody who can give me the direction that I need from God and also supplement the kind of wisdom I needed from the father, earthly one I didn't have. If you're looking for a spiritual father or looking for a father, look for one who can help you in twofold, spiritually and naturally. Don't look for one who have to babysit around you. There are so many people who want spiritual fathers who agree with them or spiritual fathers they can buy off. I know my spiritual father is very poor, and I know that he can hardly pay his rent. So if I can help pay his rent, I'll use my charisma to control him. And I only would like to come to him when I want him to tell me what I want to hear. That's wrong. Yes, your spiritual father may not have as much as you have, and that's a good sign that you are submitting to a father not because of economic class or clout, but because of wisdom, integrity, knowledge, strength, character. That's how it is when you're looking for a spiritual father or looking for a father. There are some inheritance that our earthly fathers are supposed to pass on to us. There are so many people who don't have that relationship with that father. He may have left when they were born, or he wasn't in the mother's life. And that father did not actually show any interest in the child. And there may be a yearning and a longing for a father. So when you see somebody who knows how to take care of his own and literally cares and is interested in molding your life, and you are willing to submit to them, then I would say that you're on the right path. There are so many people who look for spiritual fathers. The moment they get a spiritual fathers and they start experiencing some success, it gets into their head. I am bigger than my spiritual father. I'm bigger than my father. I'm richer than my father. I'm more famous than my father. I have more clout and more following. I am an influencer. Socially, I influence people. My words are going far, and I know what buttons to press to get their attention. My father is past. His generational greatness is gone. I am right now where I need to be. And there's so many people who will take a step, slight step, and they'll go off the rail and off the radar of God's protection, God's blessing. No matter how successful you are, and no matter how tall you are, your father is still as tall than you. If you are this height and your father is this height, always remember, a person who knows what the father is doesn't look down upon the father, looks up to the father. You may be tall, he may be this short, but when you speak to him, it's like the reverse. You're looking up to your father. And we need this kind of fathers in our lives. There are those who like to manipulate fathers. If they don't get their way with their fathers, they get angry and they badmouth their fathers. When they are happy, they exalt their fathers. When they are angry, they badmouth them. And if you do that, whatever is supposed to give you comfort and joy in your life doesn't live long. There are some people who are physically alive, but they are dead. the things they're supposed to produce is dead. The things that is supposed to produce or actually come to them through their relationship with their fathers is no longer producing. And remember, if you have a father, then give him his honor. That's what the Bible says. Don't call me a father when you don't give me my honor. So if you call somebody a father, give them the honor of fathering. Submit to the authority. Listen to their counsel. Obey the wisdom God has given them. Treat them with respect and honor. Take care of them. Support them. And serve their interest. There are those who look for spiritual fathers. They only want to see their father once a year. But they want the father to give them wisdom that will carry them out through the whole year. It's not balanced. Show honor to a father. Bless your father, and your father's blessing will come upon you. Whatever you don't honor will not bless you.
Wow.
Whoever God has placed in your life that you don't honor will not bless you. Especially if you've ever said in your heart or even publicly that this is my father and you dishonor them, you dishonor yourself. If you've called somebody a father and you start dishonoring them, you dishonor yourself. Why? Because you want to rely on the words of your father. Now, what about you? Do you honor the words that you speak? You call him a father, but your heart is far from him. You call him a father, but your behavior and attitude is far from him. You call him a father, but you are willing to expose his nakedness. You call him a father, and you still stabbing him on the side. You call him a father, and you disregard his needs. Are you a good son or a good daughter? Are you one that is serving out of love and care, or you one who is there for opportunity's sake? So, criteria of selecting a father is I need somebody who will not be afraid of my success. I look for someone who will not be shy to tell me the truth. And I'm looking for someone that I can serve also. That's what is the best criteria in getting one. I don't know if I've answered you.
Oh, wow. You have definitely answered me. And wow, that's amazing. And all of those things that you just described, you epitomize. Those are things that I've seen in you over the years as my spiritual father. You talked about something that is so powerful. And you see this often where people are trying to connect to those who can lift them up in ministry or in business. They're opportunists and only seek the blessing that the Father has, but they're not willing, as you just alluded to serve their interests. Now, I want to talk a moment about, I know we have a few minutes left, so I want to talk about relating. What is the proper relationship in regards to the son? You've looked at the criteria of a father. You've answered that so thoroughly. But I want you to talk now about as a son or daughter. What is the primary responsibility? How does a son or daughter properly relate to a spiritual father? Because I don't think a lot of people really understand that. You talked about it. If I'm just relating to you to get from you what I feel will advance my ministry or give me success, then I'm certainly not relating to you properly.
Yeah.
And do you believe that that's kind of a hindrance? It's a twofold question. Do you believe that improper relationships or relations between a son and a father, does that hinder the blessing or the inheritance?
That is true. It does. You know, in the traditional way, inheritance comes through bloodline, birth. I mean, that is why in our everyday life, a father that works, a father that understands the structure of a family, creates will. He says, if I'm not here, my son or daughter, this belongs to you, this belongs to you. And in fact, when you come to developing countries like Africa, particularly Ghana, as I know it, Children who may be more successful knows the things that they would like their parents to give them. And some will say, ma'am, when you're not here, I like this cup. It's as simple, but the connection and the remembrance and the blessing that comes out of it is something that it's more than money can buy. More than money can buy. When you have a father and you have a mother, first consider the stages we come to. Now, you are first a child. When a baby, you say that this is my baby. They don't say this is my child. They say this is my boy. Later on, as they mature, they say this is my son. The title son and daughter is a title that is usually used when that individual begins to accept chores and responsibility. That's what God, Jesus was God in the flesh. But when he accepted his responsibility and willing to step up, God says, behold, this is my begotten son, in whom I'm what? Well pleased. A son or a daughter is one who is willing to do the bid of the parent. Listen, your parents may even be dead and gone, but based on the relationship you have with them, you always know that I was, and I'm still that son. I am my father's son. It can't change. And I talk about my father, and at times you wonder, how can a man your age be talking about his father or mother like this? Because that sonship was not broken. And I talk about it passionately because I had opportunity to serve my father and my mother when I knew that I've reached the point of calling myself a son. A son that is loved at all times is a son that is concerned about the parent. A daughter that is loved at all times is the daughter that makes the mother and father's heart glad. When your parents hear of your call, whatever they do, they put it aside to hear the son or daughter's voice. When the door is knocked, they hear a knock on the door, the excitement, even though they may not even be able to walk, but the excitement to get up and just say, let me open the door because my son is coming. Why? Because my son and daughter brings what? Glad tidings. Bring joy, upliftment. When they come, Mommy, how are you feeling? Daddy, what are you feeling? Have you eaten? That's what makes a heart glad. So with that, joyfully the father may say spiritually, either direct or indirectly, this is where this is. Open this drawer, there's something there. They'll begin to show you things hidden in secret places that is supposed to be the children's inheritance. So what a son and daughter ought to do is that you look for your parents. You look after your parents. They looked after you. Now it's your time to look after your parents. So there is a two-way thing here. There are so many people looking for fathers, but when they get one, they don't know what to do with them. You want a father? Now you got one. You want a mother? Now you got one. But you don't know what to do with them. It's just like a cat that gets a mouse and gets it and doesn't know what to do with it. It's just like a husband or a man who try everything to get a woman. You get her, you don't know what to do with her. Just like a woman who prays, I want to be married. Now you got one husband. You don't know what to do with him. When you have a father and the father gets old for you, you will not benefit from him. The love of a father to the child is supposed to be renewed every day. In the same way, the love for a parent is supposed to be renewed every day. You do things for your parents without remembering, and God will bless you without forgetting.
Wow. Say that again.
A son or daughter will do things for your father or mother without remembering. God will bless you without forgetting. That's what you do for a spiritual father. I mean, just like you say, you know what? Oh, man, I was just thinking about my daddy. You walk in the store. The simplest thing is, man, I'm buying this. Man, my father will like this. It will be good on my father. It will be good on my mother. That's what children who love their parents do. It is embarrassment to be dressed up and your father and mother are dressed down. It is a shame for a daughter to eat and son to eat and have some to spare and put some in the trash. And the person they call their father, spiritual father or natural father, is hungry. It's a shame to call your friends to check on them on their birthday, but forget to check on your father and mother if they've taken their medication before they turn into the night. So if you have somebody as a spiritual father, take it seriously. Not the hogwash, modern day spiritual father. Stop that daddy and mama thing, when in actual fact, you're not acting like a son. Don't call somebody your daddy. Don't call somebody your mama when it's just a word you use. When you only have been having problems with your wife or husband and you're fighting and they're about to kick you out and you don't know where to go and you have to call and soothe the space before you come in there because you're about to put your clothes on the street. When you say, "This is my father," act like one. No son and daughter, father and son and father will argue. You can discuss things, but you don't argue with your fathers. If you consider somebody your father, you don't argue with your father. When was the last time Jesus argued with God? That's why he was referred to as my beloved son, in whom I'm well pleased. When you have somebody as a father, then your requirement is, I'm going to take care of my father on a weekly basis or monthly basis. It's my duty to take care of my father. I don't care whether he has or he doesn't have. I'll take care of him. That's my duty. Daddy, what can I do for you? Daddy, mama, what can I do for you? That's what spiritual father is all about. But not the lips talking, flattering, my daddy, that's my mama, and and there's nothing to it. We got to do it right. We got to do it right. This message, it's for you. I'm speaking to you. You are listening. You are paying attention. Send this to all of your friends who go to church, or everyone who call themselves Christians. And for whoever they call father or mother, there's something attached to it called honor. Honor your father and mother so your days may be long. That means the things that God called you to do in these days will stay long. Even when you are not here, it will outlive you. If you call somebody a father, then honor them. If you call somebody a mother, then honor them. Don't act out, walk out of their lives at the critical time when they need you, because God will ask you of it one day. Don't call somebody a daddy when you have an increase and you forget them. You buy things and you pay taxes. You don't complain. But to bless your father and mother, you complain. You go on vacation and you don't care how much the plane ticket costs because you want to impress your wife, your husband, or your partner. But you don't mind if your father, mother doesn't even have gasoline or have gasoline in the lantern. You don't even care whether their tire is flat or it's working. It's not right. Well, my father doesn't say he needs me. So no. You still have a duty to it. As a child, your father and mother were providing for you, not because you need. At times, it is out of their love they supply your needs. Don't give your father and mother up to be orphans or to be adopted by strangers. Do your best. Cover them. Show them your love and let them be proud of you. So on their dying bed, when your name is mentioned, they will bless you. And at the last part of their lives, your presence there will give them hope that now they can go in peace. Love your father and your mother. Bless your spiritual parents. This is a message that needs to be shared. And if this message has touched you, please share it. This is what you segment it and let it go all over social media. Let every Christian hear this message. There are so many ministers that are rising today, young ones popping up from everywhere. They get tired here, they leave, they're going to start their own, and they forget the fathers who raised them. They forget the mothers who nurtured them. You started with a spiritual father. Now you've got to the success stage and you've forgotten who is your father and your mother. You're walking off and you don't care. Don't forget, what goes around comes around. And treat your father and mother with honor. Respect them. They may be younger than you. Respect them. They may be sicker than you. Respect them. They may be poorer than you. Respect them. They may not have the education you have. Respect them. They don't understand social media like you do. Honor them. Honor your spiritual parents. Honor your mentors. Honor those you claim or you call fathers. And let them protect you. It's necessary. Hallelujah.
Wow. What a powerful, powerful segment today on this Do Life session. Dad, I tell you, I know that people have been blessed, inspired, and challenged through this time together. And if I could, I would like to just speak to those of you who are watching today, if this segment has been a blessing to you. You know, today we talked about honor. And the Bible tells us in Proverbs chapter 3 to honor the Lord with your substance. You know, if this message has blessed you, has encouraged you, I want to challenge you today to sow back into this Do Life session. There are ways that you can support this outreach. It's on the screen. And right now, I want to challenge you to get your best seed and sow it into the fertile grounds of this ministry. And I believe that as you sow and as you release your seed, you are going to experience God's blessings in ways that you've never imagined. Again, thank you in advance for your generosity and your support. And remember, it is through your faithful support that you enable us to do the things we're doing around the world. So again, thank you in advance.
Pastor Kirkpatrick, I love you, you know that. But the beauty of it is a father doesn't just love his son, he respects his son. When you have a relationship where the father loves the son, respects the son, and values the son, it literally creates a father-son friendship at the same time. And that's what I see in you. I'm grateful that God gave me a gift that is with you. And I'm happy and humbly proud, to use the word, humbly proud to call you a son. I love you, and I believe in all that God has called you to do. And I want you to know that I'm sticking with you and your family and the ministry and all that you're doing. You know you could call me day, night, and everything when you need me, because I'll be with you very shortly anyway to minister. And in our next session, I would like us to talk about it, but I really, really feel, I want us to talk about the upcoming meeting where I'll be there. But I want you to know that I love you, and I thank God for you.
Love you
I
too.
love you, son.
Love you, sir.
Good. Yeah, thank you. Now, to those of you watching, I want you to just thank you for bringing us to this place. We look forward to joining with you next week, same time, Do Life. And I want you to come back with me. I want us to continue this next week. It's very important. God bless you, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you for watching another Do Life session powered by King Adamtey. We hope that you've been blessed by this message and stay encouraged. Miracles still happen, and God hasn't forgotten you. Be expectant of the miracles God is about to perform in your life if you just believe. Join us in person or online Sundays at 10 a.m. We're located at 5310 South Austin Avenue, Durham, North Carolina, 27713. You can also join us online via live stream by visiting lifeinternational.us/DOLifeTV. We encourage you to give. Your giving allows us to bring you inspirational messages like this every week. Please visit our website, lifeinternational.us/give, to give securely online. You can also text to give by texting your donation amount to 84321, or you can scan this QR code on your mobile device. Thank you for your support. We'll see you next week. Bye.